Hey, well, your favorite Auburn show is back. And of course, we started off 1-0. And you know we got to talk about the game from last week. We got to also preview the Cal game. This is CNT Talking Tigers. Hey, let's enter this Tiger Den.
Let's go.
This is CNT Talking Tigers. We're talking Auburn football. It's what we do. Welcome to the Tigers.
Now you are into the Tiger Den. Welcome to CNT Talking Tigers. We're talking about football, what we do. I'm Courtney Chandler. There's Tony Milford. We appreciate y'all so much taking out the time of your busy day to join us on this Wednesday. Just a few days before game day. So we thank y'all so much for watching. Tony, how you feeling? We want to know. We starting off on a good track. How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, feeling good, man. Feeling great. You know, last weekend, opening weekend of college football. Couldn't have started out any better for me. You know, 11 o'clock game. You know, we got to see Colorado kick off and start the thing off right. You know, and carried over into the Auburn game, and it just made my Saturday just great. You know, I can't complain, but there's no big complaints. But all in all, we're happy to be here. 1-0, heading to the next one.
Yes, sir. Hey, let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about this game here. Of course, you said we 1-0. Our boys beat UMass 59-14. A beautiful day on the plains. We saw a lot of good things. Of course, I know there's some things we saw that we can improve on. But let's start off with the good. Tony, man, what you saw that was good from Saturday from the Tigers as we started off this season 1-0?
I like the energy. I like the way we look. I like the way Peyton Thorne seems under control. He might not wow this thing. You know, his numbers 10 for 17, 140 yards and a touchdown. Key thing to me was no turnovers, no fumbles, no picks. So I was happy with that. I'm happy to see Robbie involved early and often, keeping him engaged. Can't complain about it. I was happy to see that because I was wondering, how that was going to play out with him. And good to see that Hugh has a role for him. Coach Freeze has a role for him, and they put him in, and he was in there a lot. I got to see multiple people carry the ball. It was good to see Cobb. Young Cobb was in there doing his thing. Sean Jackson. We had a lot of backs tote the ball. Sean Jackson had 5 carries. Most everybody made the most of their carries. He had 5 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown. Robbie had 9 carries, 50 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. DeMario had 8 carries, over 40 yards, and a touchdown.
Yes, sir.
And Daniel Cobb, 5 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. So 6 touchdowns on the day. The running game really got done. Sean Jackson busted a long one. Cobb busted a nice run. It was good to see. Jay Fair, looked like he came to play Saturday. He was our leading receiver. 5 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. So it was good to see us, do what we did on offense. Defense, we were aggressive. We had a few sacks. Eugene Asante and Donovan Kaufman, both 2 tackles for loss, and each had a sack. Marcus Harris had a sack. Elijah McAllister also had a sack. Kaufman forced a fumble. Jalen Simpson had a day with the pick 6.
That's
know
right.
what I'm saying? Looking good, pick 6.
And the dive.
Yep. And the somersault. He said he blacked out. He said he don't even remember doing that. And he also recovered a fumble. We held them on. We only held them to they only had 11 first downs. We had 27. I like that. We almost had 300 yards on the ground. I like that. It was good. It was good. I was nervous at first. We came out 7-0. You know what I'm saying? We good, but then they come right back with an 8-play, almost probably a 90-yard drive,
Yeah.
tie the
Yeah.
game up, and I'm like, oh man, not again.
Right.
And then we get the field goal, then we score again, and so it looked like I wanted it to look, coming out of that first half. Remember, I told you I wanted us to, at least have 28 by half, be up on them big,
Right.
and we were. I think it was 31-7 at the half.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came out, and it was, it was really more of the same. I like to see we were really consistent with what we were doing and how we were doing it. Second half, I think it was 28-7. So, it was a really consistent effort. We were consistent. Now, those were the things I did. Like McPherson, my boy Evan, he hit his field goals. Alex hit his field goal, hit his extra points. He was booming those kickoffs. I think he had about five or six touchbacks. So that was the return game. I remember talking about the return game with Petit. Petit had a nice return on the kickoff. Jalen, I think it was Jalen on the punt returns. He had a good punt return. So everything, those were the things I liked. Those were the positives. The crowd was there. We did what we should have done. We 59-14, can't ask for much more. People doubted that we could even get to 50. I remember last week somebody said we might can score 50, but hey, we dropped 59.
I called it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
called it, man.
a 50 burger in the opening week of the opening game of the Hugh Freeze era at home.
Yes,
2:30 kickoff. Special teams was solid. Defense was solid. Offense did its thing. Those were the things I like. Now you get to we talk about what you liked also, and then I'll tell you what I didn't like.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go on to what I'm like. Of course, the crowd was there. Everybody decked in all white. I love that unity. It felt like, like the old, like how Auburn used to be when I was growing up. I had that feeling, when we started off football season and and it's the first game of the season. We playing a lower team, and everybody just excited, everybody together, and we excited about the new season. So it had that feel. I liked what we put out as far as our receivers. I thought we did pretty solid. Jay Fair, really, really impressed. I think him and from what I heard, him and Peyton Thorne really have been like connecting in the off season. Just their chemistry, and it showed on Saturday. He got it to him in on one of those touchdown drives. It was a nice pass. Like you said, we didn't see a whole lot from Peyton Thorne, and I think it's a purpose of why we didn't see a whole lot as far as the playbook for Peyton Thorne. But what we did see was good enough to say, okay, I can see why Hugh Freeze called him as a starter. Of course, we got to talk about Robbie Ashford. Every time he touched the ball in the red zone, it was a touchdown. He was just magic. It was typical Robbie Ashford. Running game, it looked solid. I wouldn't like to see 100-yard rusher, but the fact that we put up almost 300 yards on the ground, I'll take it. Jeremiah Cobb got a touchdown. We saw Sean Jackson. Damari Austin got the first touchdown. And, of course, Robbie Ashford got us a few touchdowns. So it looked good. Defense. I thought we played pretty solid on defense for the most part. That pick was really good. Of course, we had the sack. I wanted to see, I think, a little bit more rotation with some of the defensive players, particularly the ones they've been really talking about. Also with the offensive players too, because I wish we could have saw Rivaldo Fairweather. That's a name they've been touting about a lot. But we'll talk about that in a second. But overall, I think it was a good first showing for Hugh Freeze. I think everybody has come together, which we hadn't seen in a long time in Auburn, like just that unity aspect where everybody on the same page. I even saw in the comments, Tony, on Saturday, where someone was dogging well, I wouldn't say they was dogging Peyton Thorne, but they made a comment said, with Robbie Ashford scoring so many touchdowns, why is Peyton Thorne on the field, and people had like backed him and said, we this is Hugh Freeze's first game, given time the offense adjusted. You had a lot of people that were backing Hugh Freeze saying, hey, let this work. We want to see how this works. And we hadn't seen that unity because it's always usually a back and forth going on about who should be playing quarterback, who should be playing in certain positions. But for once, I think we are all together saying we're going to let this thing just play out. Of course, we would like to see certain players, but right now, I think what we're seeing is good and we can just build upon it. All right, so we talked about the good. All right, so what did you not like, Tony, from Saturday?
Now I'm gonna speak on one thing, a couple of things that you said, especially with that all white. I saw what Jalen Simpson said when he got that pick. That's all he could see when he was running towards the end zone was just this sea of white shirts everywhere. He said he was just running towards the white. But now the reason why you didn't see, the main reason why you didn't see 100-yard rusher was because those carries were so divided. Cobb had 5. Jackson only had 5. DeMario only had 8. Robbie had 9. So the lead, you know what I'm saying? Nobody even got a chance to either get a rhythm. So that's why it was more of a we, not me running game Saturday. You know what I mean? So because we were still over 6.5 yards per carry right there at 290 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. But that's just to speak to that. That's why you didn't see 100-yard rush. If Jarquez might have made that a little bit of a difference had he been there. But and then well, things I didn't like. I remember speaking on it last week when I said UMass was definitely going to run the ball.
Yeah.
And they did.
They did.
And I didn't like the way we did, particularly didn't look K-Ron Lynch Adams. I heard that name far too often Saturday. K-Ron Lynch Adams. He had 14 for only 14 carries, but went over 100 yards on us. Not particularly thrilled about that. They end up with 140 yards rushing and averaging 5 yards a carry doing it. That I did not like. That concerned me. We didn't score that one time down in the red zone. We was 4 for 5 in the red zone. Not mad about that. We were 6 for 10 on third down, 6% third down conversion. So not mad about that. Because in contrast, we held them to 1 for 9. But just speaking on things I didn't like I said, I wasn't too thrilled with the running game. Anthony Thompson for them, that wide receiver, had 4 for 89. He caught a touchdown. But that was in garbage time. I didn't like that we didn't really have the opportunity to turn them over as much because they just didn't pass as much. Yeah. So I would have liked for UMass to have passed the ball more. That's one thing I did not like, regardless of them. Regardless of what we were doing, they just didn't give us the opportunity for more plays of Jalen Simpson's nature. And another thing, now that I'm thinking about it, even when they did pass, we still ended up with 4 sacks. So 4 sacks on a limited pass attempt and a pick 6. So I really can't complain. So that's really, like I said, the only things I really didn't like that we didn't really just manhandle their run game. But apparently that's what they do. They're committed to it. But I like for us to have been committed to stopping it. I would have liked to see a little more from Peyton, but that was, like you said, that was probably more by design, just to get everybody, just get the running game involved, just do what we got to do to establish the run. That was a Gus Malzahn type thing, and Hugh Freeze is, him and Gus are, tied at the hip. They're real close, so. Right. That we're going to run the ball. That's going to be a Hugh Freeze thing. You're going to run the ball. So, establish the run. It was fun. It was exciting. We had big plays. on defense in the passing game. There was a couple of chunk plays here and there. We made some good plays in the run. Like I said, Robbie got in and kept. Everybody was excited for him. So it was a fun atmosphere. It was a dominating performance, and enjoyed the freeze there, kicking off with a win. Couldn't get no better. We didn't have to bite our nails like we did in the Harsin era. So thank God for that. Oh, and speaking of the Harsin era, I'm gonna touch on it, then I'm gonna get off of it.
Go ahead.
Oh, and before I touch on that, another thing I did not like, the fact that Robbie Steele is the worst passer on the team. My God, boy. What have you been doing? What is it? What is it? Golly, what is it? Man, oh my God, this man can't throw a fit, man. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, Robbie, what have you been doing? But I will say, speaking of Harsin, Bo Nix, since he left Brian Harsin, has looked like a superstar and a Heisman Trophy candidate, which I thought he would be for Auburn, if used correctly. TJ Finley, shout out to TJ Finley. Went down there and beat Baylor on the road, pulled an upset. Shout out to TJ Finley. Hey, he was an Auburn man. He wanted to be here. We couldn't wait to get rid of him. He went and got some coaching, and he looked good. So I want to give TJ Finley his due.
Yeah,
for sure.
Miss Bird
twice. For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. He was like 3 for 9, man. Like for 3 yards. It was terrible. He was terrible, man. Robbie was Jesus Christ, boy.
He just might need to stick the running the ball.
Man, it's like he throw with his eyes closed.
Just stick the running the ball because his passing ain't got no better yet.
Man, that man can't pass gas, man. I swear. But hey, like we say, hey, we happy for the win, and it's time to move on to Cal.
Yeah. I before we got this comment here, I tried to tell people about TJ. People just
I had high hopes for TJ too, man. I believed in him when we got it, man. Yeah. I just and every once and I kept believing in him. I kept believing in him, but now that we see it wasn't TJ and it wasn't Bo. It was Harsin. It was Harsin them. It was Harsin them.
Yeah, it was Harsin because I mean TJ performed well against Baylor and we shot the world.
He was throwing that thing too.
Yeah. I'm gonna mention one more person after I do what I didn't like. Of course, I think we all on the same page. The run defense did not look good, but I don't think we should be too concerned. I think Ron Roberts can correct this, and I do have confidence that he'll have this corrected pretty soon, especially in the next game. From what I hear, this will be corrected very, very soon. That was my only concern. Like I said, I think the sample size that they did show, I think was intended. So I like you said, the run defense, that was probably the letdown for the entire game. But since you brought up TJ Finley and how he played, I know I gotta just mention it. I gotta bring it up. Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter.
My people, my Auburn people, y'all know I love Auburn, and my first choice, my 1A and my 1B my 1A was Deion Sanders, my 1B was Coach Prime, and then I wanted Hugh Freeze. We got Hugh Freeze. I am happy and ecstatic with Hugh Freeze. Oh, but my goodness, if we could have had, and we like Peyton Thorne, people on the plane. We like Peyton Thorne. Imagine how we would have loved Shedeur. Imagine if we had Shedeur, Travis Hunter. But that's okay. But Auburn people, I told y'all I told y'all Dion was it.
He was it.
I told y'all his son was it. I told y'all Travis Hunter is everything. But congratulations to them. And we just had to touch up. But look, like I said, now that could have been us. It could have been us.
It could be us, but
we could have had college football world shaking in their boots. But that's okay. We're gonna have a steady climb. I like what we got. I am so happy with Coach Freed. Don't get it twisted. I believe in Coach Freed. Before we hired Brian Harsin, if you ask anybody I knew, I think even before I might have said it on this show, I wanted Hugh Freeze. I wanted Hugh Freeze first and foremost. Before we ever had Brian Harsin, when Hugh Freeze was still at Liberty, I wanted Hugh Freeze. So don't get it twisted. I'm a whole Hugh Freeze fan. But you're right, Courtney. Prime time taking over college football world.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We just gonna worry about running the SEC. He can have the world. We just gonna run this SEC for right now.
Right. We're gonna run the SEC. I had to mention it. I just had to mention it.
Thanks.
My and I did. If Auburn had landed Prime, man, yeah.
Woo! Boy, I tell you, boy, they would, boy, it'd be some, boy, the whole, hey, man, if we would have had Prime with all that firepower that went to Colorado, we wouldn't have had to take as many as they did because he wouldn't have had so much to get rid of here. But man, just adding them dogs that he did, whoa, Lord. And just on top of the momentum and just prime time in Auburn and the SEC and going to recruiting Alabama, Florida, and Georgia, you ain't got to convince nobody to go way to Colorado. They can just come right here to Auburn. Woo! That'd have been major. But that's okay.
It's all right.
Because we got Coach Freeze and hey, it's cold. It's cold. It's freezing. I'm with it. I gotta get my Scully in my hoodie. Oh yeah, and they said they said the atmosphere was electric. My nephew BJ Milford, Broderick Milford Jr. was there, and he said the crowd was loud and raucous, and it was rocking from start to finish, from Tiger Walk all the way to Toomer's Corner.
Hey man. All right. Well, we taking the freeze warning. We are now taking it to Cal. We are
California knows how to party.
We going
California. I'm sea walking, y'all. Sea walking knows how to party.
Yeah. While Tony doing his sea walk, the Tigers gonna be sea walking into California Memorial Stadium.
Gonna be Tiger walking.
Yeah, Tiger walking in the Memorial Stadium on Saturday, 7:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Central time here in Alabama. So it's a little late for this game 2 Saturday. We going back on the West Coast, and last time we was in the West on the West side was when we played in the national championship back in 2014 against Florida State there in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl. Of course, we lost that game, but hopefully we can redeem ourselves in California. So, Tony, man, what are the keys for us winning this game against Cal?
Man, we was in Arizona. We was in. We can't never win in California. We 0-3 in California.
Yeah,
we lost to Florida State. Shout out to them Noles. We lost to Florida State in the Rose Bowl. We lost to USC, and I can't remember the other game, but I remember USC though.
Yeah,
we lost to USC, and then they came to Auburn and beat us too. I was like, God, dog, we can't beat USC. Say that. We don't need to schedule them no more. We can't schedule Stanford. You know what I mean? We can't schedule Colorado. California or Stanford or UCLA. Let's not schedule USC no more. But that was then. This is now. So we're going out here to Cal. Cal won their first game. They went on the road to North Texas, and they did a number on them. Then they might have dropped a 50 burger.
They did.
Okay. Well, their quarter, they led by Ben Finley, an NC State transfer. He was 24-34, 280 yards. He threw a touchdown, but he also threw a pick. Their backup came in for a little while. He was efficient. He also threw a touchdown. But they got some pretty good receivers. They got a guy, Jeremiah Hunter, 6'2", 200 pounds. He caught 6 balls for 64 yards and a touchdown Saturday. Montre Young, 4 catches, 63 yards. They did what they did in North Texas, which they should. But my most concerning thing with California is their running attack.
Mm.
We just touched on it. We didn't really lock down. We gave up 140 yards and 5 yards a pop Saturday to UMass at home.
Mm.
Now we're going on the road, across the country, and I'm going to read this off. Saturday, Ashton Stredrick had 13 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Isaiah Afenzi, double I, number 22, 10 carries, 54 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jaden Ott, 20 carries, 188 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Ooh. Okay, Ron Roberts, I hope you're watching this show.
So they was well over 300 yards. It was over 300 yards, or right at 300. There was 105 to 8. Yeah. So it was right at 300 yards with 6 touchdowns also. Mm-hmm. But they weren't at home. They weren't at home. They was on the road.
Yeah.
North Texas might, I don't know how tough North Texas is, but they ran the ball. What was that? 3 people, and that was 43 carries between 3 people and 6 touchdowns. And still managed to throw it 34 times. So, defense got to come with it.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be a test of what our defense can do. And in the same hand, how's it going to play out in our offense? Because these first 2 weeks out the gate, people want to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
We have to man up and stop that run. Yep. They threw it 34 times and made some, but it all starts up front with stopping the run. We're gonna have to do a lot better job this week than last week, or it could be a long evening out west.
Right.
But I'm confident in who we are as a team and as a talent with our coaching staff that I think what North Texas was able to do well, I think translates to what we should be able to do well.
True.
And I'm thinking if we can slow down what they're trying to do on the ground, and I'm not too impressed with that quarterback. He's not as experienced. He wasn't a starter coming from NC State. He wasn't playing. So this is his really first time getting in the fold. So this is going to be really his first big game being the man. So we're going to see how he responds. Hopefully Ron Roberts can do his thing and, bring a little pressure, put a little heat on him, and make him try to depend on that running game. But we got to stop the run in order to affect the pass. We don't want them to be able to play action us and try to hit us. But I ain't worried about it. Our secondary going to go with anybody. I ain't worried about that. I know our secondary going to do what it do. But we gotta stand up front. We gotta stand up front, and if we can do that, then we can get a win and break this California curse of 0-3. Hopefully, we can leave there with our first victory as a program, and we've never won in California. So let's end that Saturday.
Yeah. I'm hoping, looking forward to it. I hope Ron Roberts is watching this show, or go back and watch the replay, because they got
somebody send me the link.
Yeah, somebody they got a nice little running attack, so we got to stop the run. That's the only way we're gonna be able to stop these guys from scoring. Like you said, Tony, I think we good on secondary. I think we have great DBs, we got great safeties. I think we can lock them down as far as in the secondary. Our offense. If we can do what we did last week and get the ball off to as many running backs we can and force it down their throat, I think we'll be good. We don't know if Jarquez Hunter is gonna play. We ain't heard no update about that, so that's still up in the air. But we still gonna be fine, even if
Even if we look one thing about Auburn, and this has been true my whole life. I'm 41 years old. One thing we ain't never lacked for is a running back.
Yep.
Two things we ain't never lacked for: a running back and a backup running back. If we ain't never had nothing else, we been running the ball from. I'm talking about from the crib to Alex Smith, the who else? You got
Kenny Irons and
oh yeah, man, Kenny Irons. Oh
Bradley.
man, my man, oh man, he's on the tip of my tongue. He was number 33. James Bostic, my boy James Bostic.
You go away.
Oh man, James Bostic used to tote that thing. Stephen Davis, like you said, Kenny Irons, Brad Lester. I mean, Rudy Johnson, Cadillac, Ronnie Brown, Brandon Jacobs, Trey Smith. I mean, you name it, we had them, man. Auburn, we keep Daniel. What's that boy? Oh yeah, we already talked about Rudy Johnson. We had another. There was another guy.
Can't forget Terry McCaleb.
Can't forget about Terry McCaleb. Mario Fanning.
Oh
I used to love me some Mario Fanning with his fumbling self.
Oh my god! He used to fumble the ball. Nah, he ain't fumble as bad as Boobie Whitlow. Nah, that joker used to fumble.
And then Boobie will break 2 long runs, and the next time you get to him, he was gonna fumble.
He used to fumble.
Shout out to my boy Michael Dyer.
Man, yeah.
Shout out to my boy Michael Dyer.
I wish he could have stayed longer. Woo. He was a talent.
Auburn had some dogs, man.
They had some dogs. And we got
Carl Stewart. Shout out to my boy Carl Stewart. Many people might not remember. My boy Carl Stewart was tough. Yeah. Number 32, Carl Stewart. Yeah, shout out to Heath Evans.
Man,
boy, I'm telling you, man, we ain't never lacked for no running back, man. We always gonna keep a good back, man.
Johnson too. I forgot.
Shout out to Carry-On. Then shout out Big Cam Petway.
Cam Petway.
Shout out to Cam Petway.
Whew. Big.
That running back.
Remind me of Cam Petway. But yeah, we're gonna be fine on the running game.
Yeah,
I think it's Peyton Thorne. I think as he continue to be comfortable, just be comfortable with the offense and get the ball to receivers. I think I would really like to see Shane Hook have a breakout game right here. I think he can take advantage of their DBs and then show out him and Jay Fair. I think it's gonna get bad real soon. But since we talking about Cal, one of my frat brothers, Cameron Bell, just dropped some on me, and he sent it to me. He said Cal running back been on Twitter X talking spicy, and he sent it to me. So we gonna read it. We're gonna go ahead. So Cal running back Jaden Ott. There's a lot of focus on the name Auburn, but what I see on film is not really in comparison to what their name is. I just want to get that into my guy's head that a name doesn't mean anything. Tony? The night after line.
See, this what happens when you let folks like UMass run on you. Now everybody just want to talk crazy. Now Jay Knott, hey, he just went for 20 and 188 and 2 touchdowns. So he feeling himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a name, Auburn by any other name is just as sweet. What you know what I mean? Hey, even if we weren't, we still Auburn. Yeah, it's the name, it's the logo, it's the tiger, it's the war eagle, it's the SEC, it's all that coming to California. It's tradition. Everybody know Auburn. Only thing we know about California is it's a state. That's where the Lakers play.
Yeah.
But anytime you visit California, you can name 100 other things before you get the Cal Golden Bears.
Yeah.
You just mad because y'all ain't got no name.
the last time Cal was relevant when they had Deshaun Jackson, and that was almost 15 years ago. The last time they was really dominant was when they had the band running the field for them to win the game.
Cal put out some good players. Cal has put out some great players. They put out some great players. Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn Lynch, Deshaun Jackson, Jared Goff, Tony Gonzalez.
They did now.
Jason Kidd. But Auburn's a great program.
But let's not get it twisted. This does not get it twisted. Come on.
So, just be glad we put you on the schedule and gave you an opportunity to have such a wonderful program bless you with their presence. And we're going to come in and we're going to bless you with our presence. We're also going to bless you with them pads. Hey, Auburn defense, you better come with it now because this boy talking. But he can walk the walk too now. But don't let him walk it on us. We do the dog walking around here.
A tiger walking around here.
Facts.
Tiger walk. Yeah. So, yeah, real, as we say, real cute. real cute. We'll see Saturday. All right, so what you predicting? You still sticking with your prediction for Saturday that you called early or last week for this game?
Do not remember the score I predicted. So
I don't remember either. So which
and that's good. What I did know is I had Auburn winning. And I still do. This ain't North Texas. This is Auburn. Mm-hmm. So I know they're gonna come to run. They're gonna run it till we stop it. And if we stop it, they're gonna run it some more. And if we stop again, they're gonna run it one more time. Then they'll go to something else. So they're gonna want to run it. It look like their offense wants to, they might be predicated on some play action. So we just gotta be disciplined on the back end and what we see. And in that front seven, we just gotta tighten up. We gotta buckle up. We gotta man up and show them why they're in the Pac-12 and why we in the SEC. Wow. So if we can control both sides of the line, offensive line, defensive line, if we can control the line of scrimmage and slow down that run and establish our run game, I think we can come out on top. I know we can come out on top. So Auburn with a late night victory on the West Coast, 31-17.
Okay. I'm going to stick with my score, Tony. 31-10. I'm going to stick with my score. It might be a little bit higher depending on how they come out the gate. I'm going to stick with it 31-10. You got 31-17. I'm going to stick with mine. I think I saw Bubba and the old man. They made a comment about the score. They got Auburn 49, Cal 35.
Christ.
That's a lot.
But that game ain't going to end till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Have to catch the highlights. Well, I'll be up. I gotta go. Yeah, I'll be up.
49-35. But Bubba and the old man ain't got no confidence in our defense.
No. They made a comment earlier about it too. I gotta put this one up too. He said he broke he broke 9 tackles on one play. I'll be feeling myself too.
About will feel itself. Don't seem like the defense was feeling him.
Right. All right. So yeah. Well, hey, we come to the end of the show. At this end of the show, we're going to open it up for questions. Y'all got some questions that you all want to ask us? Feel free right now.
Throw out your score predictions. What you got?
Yeah, what y'all got? This everybody that's watching on here. We got they saying 49. Bubba and old man saying 49-35.
Now, is Bubba and old man, is that a collective?
Tony, you gotta stay.
I'm gonna be. Hey, I'm a young man. I'm a young dad. I got this. I just wondered, Bubba and the old man, is that one predicted score? Did y'all combine y'all scores to make one score, or did Bubba just type it in and the old man just had to roll with it? Who scored that? Do Bubba have a score and the old man have a score? Do y'all have your own scores?
Yeah. Old man was watching last week.
Yeah, old man was in here by himself, holding it down.
Yeah.
Bubba was probably somewhere else being Bubba.
Lord Jesus. This old man. He dropped the score in. He dropped the score in, Tony.
Old man said 56 40. God damn, what? What we playing? Basketball? Jesus Christ.
You talking about Bubba scoring. Look at old man.
I know, old man. He upped it some more. He gave everybody some more points.
All right, Cam said 31-14. Oh, I gotta turn my camera guy hot. I'm gonna turn on the other camera. Hold on, y'all.
Hey, Cameron Bell, I like your score. And what I think is going on with Clemson is Dabo is getting what Dabo deserves. That's what I think is going on with Clemson. Dabo is getting what Dabo deserves. Dabo don't want to adapt to the NIL. Dabo ain't into players having free speech. Dabo is a conservative, Trump-loving Republican, and he tried to stick that off on everybody, and that don't just work uniform for everybody. Everybody's different. So since he tried to make everything be exactly how he wanted, that don't work. So Dabo had Trevor Lawrence. Dabo had Deshaun Watson. Outside of that, Dabo ain't hitting no doo-doo water. So that's what it is. He ain't got a generational talent at quarterback, and that's why he looks the way he does.
Klubnik ain't it.
Klubnik wasn't it. DJ, but they said DJ Ugalele wasn't it, but he had that Oregon State. He looked way better. He looked way better. Maybe Dabo them ain't it. That might be what it is. Taj Boyd was a really good. Taj Boyd was I think Taj Boyd was in his senior year by the time Dabo them got there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Maybe when Dabo took over, Dabo was there. Taj Boyd was an established senior proven leader. He won some game with him. And he had Sammy Watkins in him. He had some talent. Then he got Deshaun. Then it went from straight to Deshaun to Trevor Watson. So Dabo had it made at the quarterback position by generational talent and a really, really, really good college quarterback. Now without that, last couple of quarterbacks that wasn't those guys, Dabo looks kind of pedestrian.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know at one point he wasn't really fooling with the transfer portal. Does he still go in the
Yeah, he don't like the portal, he don't like NIL, he ain't with the times. And now he ain't with the times, and it showed. Now he got beat by Duke. Duke beat Clemson last night the other night, and we ain't talking about basketball.
And that's not handily beating them. 28.
I'm talking about whoop them too. I'm talking about whoop them too.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. And Tony, we gotta point this out. It wasn't even a sellout. The whole stadium wasn't even full.
Them folks knew they were gonna lose.
The whole stadium wasn't even full.
That fake, the little fake Auburn Tigers. They took Clemson, got our old hand-me-down. They color really ain't even supposed to be purple. They ain't number some old blue jerseys. They got washed so much that they turned purple. That's how Clemson turned. That's how Clemson got to wearing purple jerseys. Because we gave them our old practice jerseys back in the day. Clemson's whole identity is based off of Auburn.
Facts.
Even the campus looks just like Auburn. You go to it looks just like Auburn. So they put a pond in the middle of it. That was it. Or the pond was already there. They just built around it. Clemson ain't nothing but Auburn want to be.
But oh man, y'all funny. It's Courtney out in the desert. Hey man, I gotta.
There's all that makeup. There's all that makeup from TV today. He ain't take it off yet, and he's about to break the camera.
Y'all funny. Let me go to that next point. Dabo just hates player freedom. How can he be against NIL? That's stupid. Very stupid.
Exactly. That's why Dabo's little program is finna dwindling down year by year. They getting worse and worse.
But y'all about to talk about me and Tony camera that's froze on him.
Oh man.
I ain't froze now.
Yeah. Yeah, Dabo little kingdom just dwindling down. Getting worse and worse by the year.
And this was supposed to be remember he was supposed to be the replacement for Saban. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
so now.
Not no more.
Not no not no
I
more.
them Bama fans, they want Dion.
Can you blame him?
Can't blame them. But better hope Florida don't get it together and go get it.
Nah.
That'd be rough.
They
That'd
look
be rough. That would
they
be
look
rough. Dion in the SEC with the Jumpman contract. Oh man, golly.
talk about. And Florida shouldn't even
Yeah.
look as bad as they should. You know why? Because they had a chance to get a top 5 quarterback, and he at Arizona State, and he balling out.
Yep. That boy cut up at Arizona State the other night.
Cut up. Florida shouldn't even look that bad, but got the wrong people handling the bag.
Yep. But that's what it is, my people. Hey, we trying to go 2-0 this weekend.
Yes, sir. We try to go 2-0. We hoping that by the time we come back with y'all next week, we'll have a little graphic that say 2-0 Auburn wins. We got a lot of different scores, a lot of different predictions, and of course,
But all of them got Auburn winning. That's all that matters.
On the west side, they got us with the W. So, hey, that's all that matters. We claiming that we calling the W for Saturday. So make sure y'all watch 9:30 kickoff ESPN. Of course, we're gonna be back next week talking about this game and the game after that. So make sure y'all tune in. Also, make sure y'all with us on IG, CNT Talking Tigers or CT Talking Tigers, more than like on IG. And this episode, you can always go back and rewatch it on YouTube, CNT Talking Tigers. Tony, any final words, sir?
Yes, sir. Hey, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. And last but not least, Eagle.
Hey.
Hey.
All right, we'll see y'all next week.